Good day, everybody. Welcome back to another upload of It's a Dyer Thing. Rob here. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today we're going to actually discuss on how to mount the GoPro system or the GoPro base mount up onto a helmet. This one here is actually going to be in regards to the AFX FX-41 DS helmet. This is the dual sport, or what I like to refer to as the adventure sport helmet. So as you can see here on my white one, which I was using last year, is already pre-mounted with a GoPro system that I did. So today I'm going to kind of go over how to do it and what are the tools that are used in order to mount this one. So we've got another FX-41 DS here, which will be used by Sage for the adventure riding. And we're going to go ahead and install the actual GoPro onto this. What first things you are going to need, and again, depending on which helmet that you have, each helmet is slightly different, right? So depending if you have a front vent, I guess, or a flat platform, there are different applications that you can use. There's different methods that you have to use. So basically the best thing to do is kind of look at your helmet, maybe do some Google research and see what other people have done with images. But you know, you're going to have to think outside the box a little bit and kind of use some imagination and kind of figure it out on your own. For the 41 DS, we're actually fairly lucky. It's not too complicated because it does have quite a bit of a flat mounting finish. But we are then kind of challenged because we also have a whole vent system here, which we don't want to kind of compromise. So what I did, since GoPro does offer two different style base mounts, you have the flat mount, but then it's kind of a little bit more of an oval shape. And then you have the contoured mount, which is also used more for helmets, and that's more of a flat shape. So today I'm going to actually use this one onto this helmet here. One could just kind of use some double-sided tape and stick it on, but the problem is by doing that, it just doesn't last very long and it's not very secure. So since we use these helmets for off-road riding or adventure riding, not off-road riding, but adventure riding, they are subject to a lot more shaking around and contact with some components, whether it be ourselves or branches and stuff like that. So we want to definitely come up with something that's very secure, but we just don't want to start drilling and bolting it into the helmet, because then you can render your vents and stuff like that inoperable. So there was a company by the name of Sugru. So basically this is a moldable / putty / glue that you can kind of shape into whatever you need. It's almost like a Play-Doh, I guess, or like a clay piece. And I obtained this. They do come in packs of 3, packs of 9, whatever it may be. This is what I like to use. They come in all different kinds of colors as well. I like to use the Sugru. Yeah, all your super neat. Anyways, I like to use the Sugru, and then I'm going to apply it to the back part of this, and then we're going to apply it to the helmet itself and just get it kind of set in there. As you can see here is pretty much what I did. So one thing you will notice here is that there is an actual screw up front on the actual mount, which clearly standard mounts don't come with any screws. So what I like to do is just to have the screw set into the helmet, a very small screw. So you'll have to kind of go either to your local hobby shop, or if you don't have anything yourselves, I mean, you can most of the time get something from a little local hobby shop. You want something small, something discreet, something easy to work with, and it doesn't penetrate in too far into your vent or helmet or whatever it may be. Again, you're probably still better off using a vented style helmet than a hard shell. You wouldn't want to really drill into the actual helmet, whether it be fiberglass or polycarbonate, whatever it may be. That can compromise somewhat the helmet. So again, any kind of modification, don't forget, can compromise the helmet, right? So what the first thing you need to do is down through the middle of the GoPro mount here, there's a channel that the actual GoPro base slides up onto, right? So the first thing I did is I use a Dremel. So you will need a Dremel or a file or a knife, whatever it may be, but you know, better off using good tools, easy tools that will help you get the job done a lot easier. Is I use a Dremel with the sanding disc, and I basically sanded down this channel here, only where I'm going to install my screw. And again, the screw is just there for extra protection, just for extra security, just to hold it in place, both while the Sugru, the moldable glue, is curing, and at the same time just gives that a little extra strength for if you do accidentally knock it or whatever like that. So once you've filed it down and shaved down the channel where you want to put your fastener or your screw, it just so it allows the actual GoPro to slide up and down properly without it getting caught and then, you know, being stuck there and not being able to put it in, take it out, whatever it may be. At the same time, because the backside of your GoPro mount is very smooth and non-porous, the adhesive, whether if it be even sticky tape, if you're sticking it onto a device, or if it be glue, it's not going to adhere properly onto this because it's such smooth surface. Even if you are just applying the double-sided tape, or you're applying the sticky tape that comes with the GoPro mounts, if you're buying the knockoff style, I would always say take off this smooth finish, and you'll find that the adhesive of the glue will stick a lot better. So that's what I did here. So again, taking the sanding disc, or the sanding grinder, whatever you want to call it, and I just kind of score it a little bit. So it does give a little bit of you know, some imperfections, and it does kind of give it some places where the adhesive can actually kind of bind onto that plastic and will make it hold a lot harder, right? Once I've done that, I've basically located where I want to install the oops, let's move this up a bit. So where I want to install the GoPro mount, so I don't want it up too high. I mean, it's, you know, again, I want to be able to use these vents here. So I found the best one for the AFX 41 DX is the square GoPro mount. And basically I've mounted it right down here, down at the low portion of it. It doesn't surpass the trim piece here, so it keeps it nice and clean. It looks actually fairly stock. It kind of gives it a good design. So once I found that that's where I'm going to locate the GoPro mount, basically what I did is I take a small, do I have my little small drill piece here? Here you go. So I basically use this. Again, you can get this from any hobby store. It's really good to actually have, even if you are working on helmets or whatever it may be. It's just a perfect way to be able to kind of get good quality, precise holes. It does come with a double-sided, so you can even use a smaller bit. This is like a 1/16 again, and so basically you can put it in, and then you're turning it with your hand. So you're basically, you know, making yourself into a drill, right? So anyways, once I have found the location as to where I want to put the GoPro mount, right, which is here, then I basically took my drill piece and I drilled a hole into the GoPro mount, and then that transferred into the actual bottom part of the vent here. So as you can see, there is a drill piece right in here. So basically, now I know that the alignment of this onto the helmet will go exactly where it is, and it's not going to move around or play around when I start applying the moldable glue. So the next thing I need to do, because I've now drilled a hole into the base plate, if you put a screw in, the screw head is going to be kind of sticking out, and you're not going to be able to slide your GoPro in and out. So that's where you're going to now use a tapered finish drill bit like this. Hopefully you can see it. Here, let's get some, there we go. So a little tapered drill bit like that, to make a tapered channel into the GoPro base here, which now once you put your screw in, it now makes it super flush. As you can see here, it's now super flush, and it's not going to interfere with your GoPro slider. So now once you put your slider in, everything's going to work, and it's not going to bind, not going to hold. So now all I have to do is take my little screwdriver here, apply it up onto where I need it to go. Again, you know, you remember you've already got that drilled hole. So once you're going to apply it into there, it's going to basically hold it in place, but that's not what you want to do because you're only got one screw that's holding it in place. It's only a matter of time for it to break. So this is where we're going to go ahead and mix the Sugru together and create the moldable, bondable glue, I guess you want to call it. It's weird, it's cool, it's really neat. And then we're going to pack it underneath. We're going to then compress the mount up onto there, put the screw in, and then we're going to have to let it cure for a little while. So the thing with the Sugru is once you get it in, you're going to kind of shape it around and make it all clean, all nice and tidy, and then you can set it and forget it. So that's where we're going to be at to do this. It is fairly simple. I would say if you're going to work on your helmet, you know, you definitely want something, you know, if you don't have a helmet ring, you can always make a helmet ring. I just didn't do it for this video here. So you can always, worst case scenario, you can buy an actual helmet ring. So anytime you work on your helmet, it's kind of like a donut. You put your helmet upside down and then you can kind of work on it, and it just makes it a lot easier for you guys to do what you need to do. If you don't, you can always take a towel, saran wrap it, and then make a donut out of that towel, and then just kind of tape it just to hold it in place. Why do I say saran wrap? Because this way, when you do put your helmet onto it, it doesn't slide around. The saran wrap helps stick against the helmet itself. So let's get going on this. If I recall properly, on this helmet here, when I did this one, it only took me two sticks of the Sugru. Well, I think 2 should be enough. Let's take a look. I can't remember. It was such a while ago. So basically you're gonna just, now I've combined 2 together and I'm putting them here onto it. I think I actually used all 3. Yeah, totally, I used all 3. So let's get the third one. I would say in regards to doing this, it definitely takes 3 strips of the Sugru for one GoPro mount, regardless of the kind of helmet you have. You're better off having too much and trimming it away than not enough, and when it comes time to actually installing it, you're like running out. So basically what I do, if you look at the helmet from a side profile, right, you can see here, I don't need that much Sugru at the top, but I do need a lot more at the bottom because there's a larger gap at the bottom. We're gonna add a little bit more at the bottom than we are at the top. So basically, I'm just gonna kind of apply it here. Onto the mount. So as you can see, I got some at the top, but I got a lot more at the bottom here. Hopefully the visuals are actually good enough for you guys. I'm just gonna poke my little drill back through here like this, just to make sure that there's a piece here. I'm gonna put my screw in its place. I'm gonna feel where the screw is, which is right there. So now we got the screw little piece in through here, and I'm now going to line the screw back up onto this base mount here. There we go. So now as I'm screwing this in, you can see the actual Sugru. I can press it on, and as you can see here, oh, hopefully we've got some light here. Let's get some more light. That's so much better. Okay, so as you can see now, the Sugru is kind of oozed out on each side here. Let's screw this in a little bit more. I can now start molding the glue and kind of shaping it into the helmet. So to give it a nice finish. There you go. So there you have it, guys. Like, it looks kind of super clean. again, the screw is there to hold it in place, and it doesn't kind of lift up, it doesn't stick out, so it's going to keep that very good. It takes good 24 hours for the Sugru to actually cure. I think it says within a few hours it does kind of set, but a good 24 hours for it to really cure nice and solid. And I would say until then, I wouldn't want to be putting any stress onto it, and so I wouldn't be loading it up with a GoPro. Let's see, that looks straight. Yeah, that's good. That's nice and straight. From there, the kind of mount I would suggest to use is the ball pivot mount. Basically, it allows you to kind of rotate your camera in any 360 degrees, as well at the same time it allows you to pivot back and down and up. It's on a good strong ball bearing, so it does hold its position at whatever place you put it in. And then as well, it comes in with the lock clip itself, right? So once you get that done, again, it's very simple. Here, let's we can mount it up onto this one here just so you can see. Put it in, lock it up, and there you have it. So it's super easy, super done, not hard at all. Again, each helmet application will be slightly different, so you'll want to do that. One thing I do want to remind you is once you do put the Sugru in, because the channel of the GoPro here, if you can see, it's a cut through. The Sugru will kind of feed itself up in through here, right? Once it feeds up itself into there, you're going to have to take the GoPro mount and you're going to kind of push it up through, because that will basically push the excess glue out of that channel. If you don't do that and then you let it set, you're not going to be able to put your GoPro up into it there. So basically, you just want to kind of clean out anything that's in there, which we're good now. So I would just kind of take the GoPro and I'll push it up through a couple of times. Just this way, it's super clean. And then it's functional. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully that's kind of giving you a little bit of insight, a little bit of an understanding on how to mount the actual GoPro onto the AFX 41 DS helmet without having to get a whole strap or screws or double-sided tape that falls off. This way, once it's mounted and once it's cured, it will last there forever and ever. So again, if you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions, please let me know. Feel free to shout out and I will answer all your needs. I thank you very much for your support, for your feedback. Don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe. And until next time, once we start getting out riding, because it's still a bit too cold, be safe, be good, have fun. And don't forget, guys, keep it covered. All right, bye-bye.